Hey guys, Road Warrior here. I just wanted to give my thoughts after playing in what I think a little over 400 comps now in a combination of tournaments since starting here in this past last February. Just kind of basically is what I've learned as I've went along and kind of ups and downs as far as my reviews for the comps here on Fishing Planet on maybe some ways to even change it or improve it. And again, this is not just to sit and rail on Fishing Planet because Fishing Planet is a great game. I know all of us kind of tend to get annoyed with the comps when you go to playing them and all the weird things that happen. But I just want to give you just kind of a general breakdown of after playing in 400 comps what my thoughts were. Number one, I think don't automatically just assume somebody's cheating in some of these things. Well, what could happen is, you could have your line weight off. In other words, your gear's not matched up properly, and no more evident than a gentleman from one of the guilds on here or the teams, GTF David. He helped me open my eyes on one certain thing, like on the spotted and the banded comp in particular. In other words, make sure that you're matching your gear up properly. In other words, you don't want to use like an ocean rod or a big ollie on a fish that's only 2 to 2.5 pounds tops as far as a unique variant. Now again, that could be used on even something like as simple as the Cornish Jack. Maybe instead of using a big Moz as the biggest bottom rod in the game, maybe match it up with a Cat Boxer or Bottom Sniper, that sort of thing. But moving on from that subject, now there is things that I've noticed in this game that drives me crazy as far as the comps. One, first and foremost, that I can't ever put my finger on or figure out completely is the accelerated bite rate that some people seem to get while others, even though you're using the same lure, you're using the same gear, you're fishing in the same spot. And I don't know if this thing is tied into personal rating or it's just the game glitches out and you're stuck on a different peak. With that being said, just as a review on this, you could try closing your app, that sort of thing. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. In other words, maybe your game glitched out and you're fishing on another peak. Now, I've also seems to me that a lot of people tend just to seem to get the same luck over and over. And you might find that self you're playing for comps on here for an entire week, and for whatever reason you go in there and you're catching nothing but blocker fish. In other words, you're fishing for tri-air or something like that, even in a tournament, and you're catching nothing but piranha, and you don't even get one trophy trihera. And let's say Sabby's, he played in Q3, and he basically went through for an hour and a half in a tournament, and I think he had like 4 or 5 piranha and didn't get one trophy trihera at the Maroon River, which is just beyond me how that could even happen, a player of his caliber. So again, I would hope that some point Fishing Planet would look at this sort of thing and see if there's something with their algorithm. Is it tied into personal rating? Is there something that just gets broke in the game, or is that just really horrible luck? Because those things can be really frustrating as far as somebody that wants to come on and enjoy themselves. Topic number two, the use of the Troy. Now, again, this could be a touchy subject to some. I don't feel that that's cheating. Like I said, I'm not going to knock anybody on my friends list. Example, in my opinion, right now, I think as I'm pulling in this fish here, the Troy is being used in meaty fellows now, trophy whiskers, giant piranhas, tiger trails, obviously, all the shark tournaments, which I understand on the shark tournaments, that is one thing that I will say that I do use there, just because the shark simply gets stuck on the bottom. But I don't feel that the Troy should be used at each and every comp, and hopefully at some point Fishing Planet does fix that. Again, I'm not knocking all the players that doing it. Obviously, if the top three are doing it, then how can anybody else even have a chance to compete in that sort of thing? But just my thoughts on it. I think the Troy should be out of the competitions. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but in other words, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be pulling in 300-pound comba on meaty fellas, and then an average Joe that doesn't have any clue of what's actually going on and how those guys are getting 15 to 20,000 points in that thing. That needs to be addressed at some point to make it feel more authentic, so to speak. Again, I'm not knocking or saying anybody's cheating doing that. It's in the game, so of course it's going to be an exploit. But in my opinion, just in closing on this, you might want to avoid tiger trails. Again, Tiger trails, especially if you don't know how to one pump chomp a tiger fish in on 13-pound line on the Troy. That's what those guys are doing on that thing. They're doing it on meaty fellas as well as others. Now, another thing is there's also rumors of an exploit, not only just in Crank the River, now there's rumors of an exploit in Spin the Trout as well as Big Redfish. So those things I hope in the future are addressed. Again, I'm not sitting here just railing fishing planet. There's a lot of things going on in the world that they're kind of out of people's control. But I just think at some point they need to look at all this stuff and at least evolve. Look at your bite rates, that sort of thing, and make these things more equal and fair. Whether you're distributing out the great players with the players that are just starting, that sort of thing, either an intermediate level, separate from the pros until you have so many pedestals. But with that being said, stick to the ones you like, and if you're not enjoying yourself, only playing the ones that you like for now, guys. So take care, and I hope this helps you guys.